Hello everyone, it's Julie from Camelia Crafts Designs. Welcome and welcome back. Right, I'm here today to have a bit of a play. I've already started to have a play because I have to remind myself what I'm doing. Right, what I'm going to do is an emboss resist technique using Tim Holtz wildflower stamps, embossing powders. You'll need your heat tool and you'll need some sticky watermark ink. There are other brands, but I prefer the Versamark. That will allow your embossing powder to stick. I'll just do it and show you. The reason I went ahead and had a go is, what prompted me to do this today was I came across this in my scrap pile. And it was obviously going to be a card front. And I honestly couldn't remember if I'd used white ink in clear embossing powder or white embossing powder. And it turns out I'd used white embossing powder because I had a go at one. It's very hard to see before you put any ink behind. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do today. I'll show you how to do the stamping first, because everything has to be in 3s and 5s. I've got one done there, so I'll do another 2. Right. If you're wanting to stamp anything and emboss it, you'll have seen me use this before to get the sticky off things. I've never used it on camera to emboss. All this in here is Johnson's talcum powder, so you don't need a fancy tool, but it's handy. Rub it over the area where you're going to do your stamping. That will ensure that when you put your embossing powder on, it's not going to stick to where you don't want it. Yeah, you can buy little bag versions of these, or you can make your own. You can use cornstarch in a bag. It's just anti-static. It stops the powder sticking to anything other than the ink. Yeah. And when I've done it, I also like to give it a tap first. Make sure I've not got too much of that powder on. Right, there we go. So next thing, I'm going to grab 2 of these wildflowers. I think I want to use that one. I like that one. And I think I'm going to use, I might just use that one. Is that too small? No, that's fine. Yeah, talking to myself. That's the one I'd already used. Yeah, just to remind myself what I was doing basically before I filmed what I was doing. Alright, so that one's going on there. I'm going to ink it up with this VersaFine watermark ink. It'll not look like I'm putting anything onto you probably. I don't know if you can even see what's happening on camera. But I can see that it's shining where I've got the ink. So, you know, I've got a stamping mat and I'm just stamping directly onto a glass mat. If you have a stamping mat, something like foam or with a bit of give underneath, it helps you get better impressions with your stamps. Now, I just moved that, so this might be a complete utter disaster. We shall see. Just get a couple of seconds. No, it's okay. It's all right. So before I go stamping the other one, I'm going to grab my white embossing powder. Now, this is from years of card making. I put my embossing powder in a tub. It comes just like that. Yeah, it's opaque, bright white. That means it's not see-through. Right. So it comes out basically bright white. You won't see any of the card colour from underneath, or if you're embossing, say, a sentiment onto a card, you wouldn't see the colour of the card underneath. You'd just see the embossing powder colour. Right, I'm then going to knock that off. Yeah. You can see you see where my stamp moved there? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a teeny tiny brush and I'm just going to come in and wipe that bit off. You probably can't even see this. You're probably thinking, what is that woman on about? What's she wiping off? Is this Emperor's New Clothes? Is it invisible? Now, I assure you there's something there. And now when I get my heat gun on it, you'll see it. Right, heat gun. So I'm using my Ranger Heat It tool. Apparently, wait, Tim Holtz who said this. This is not the right one for using with embossing powder, but I like it. A, it's not as noisy, and B, it doesn't blow your embossing powder off. I've got one of them other heat tools which I find just blows my embossing powder away. Right, I hope you can see what I'm doing here. Can you see that that embossing powder is starting to turn and go white? I know it's really hard to see when I'm doing white on cream. So yeah, it is Emperor's new clothes. My word, Emperor, your clothes look amazing. I would love such a fine set of clothes as those. Yeah, I've finally lost plot completely. Let me you should be able to see that now. Can you see? It's white. Yeah, we're going to do one more so that we can come in and ink them all together. Now, I've totally forgot which side I put powder on. Oh, woman, what you like. There you go. I've put powder on again. Oh, it smells lovely. Mine's an EK Success powder tool. And when it came and it smelled like Johnson's baby powder, I was like amazed. Right, this is the other stamp I'm going to use. Will this one fit on here? No, I'm going to have to get a different stamp block. That weren't planned right well, was it? That one's bigger. There we go. Is how I ever do planned. Sometimes you get better results by just winging it, don't you? Seeing what happens. It's my favourite way to do it. Right, I'm inking this up again with the sticky Versamark watermark ink. Whee. Whee, I don't know why that needed a wee. Hey ho. And this time put it down once and leave it there, woman. Don't move it. There you go. I do find the sound effects help immensely. Right, I'm going to put this piece of paper under here again. That's just so that when I chuck all my embossing powder on, it's not going to get all on my mat. Whee! So cover it everywhere with ink. You really don't have to use this much. I'm just taking it to extremes now, aren't I? Just not necessary. And oh yeah, look. Can you see? Because I didn't put the embossing, the powder tool right up to the edge. I've got bits there. Now I've got a bit there. Either it didn't get enough ink on, or it didn't get enough powder on. I'm not sure which. Or it didn't get enough powder on. That's fine. Right. That really don't want to. If you tap too hard, you'll knock all your powder off. That's fine. That'll do. Right. Put my last dregs in there. And let's get heat tool on this again. It's a race against time, this, with light as well. I couldn't film too early today because it was really bright and sunny. And it was just blinding. Now it's, yeah, it's tea time, as we call it here in UK. Tea time, or in north at UK. I don't think Londoners call it tea time. I don't know what they call it. I really don't know. So we have breakfast, dinner and tea. They have breakfast, lunch and dinner. But they have it later, so they must be really hungry, going from about 12 till 8 when out to eat. Right, can you see it's turned? It's nearly finished turning. There we go. This, to be honest, is when I'm using this white embossing powder, this is boring bit. Oh, I've missed a bit there. It still looks grey. I have done other, I think I've done other in videos. In videos? What's an in video? No idea. Other videos with embossing. Right, put your spoon away, missus. Put your lid on, because that's an accident waiting to happen if you don't. Right, this is best bit. We're going to get some inks out, and this is, I'm going to road test this multimedia mat with ink. Right, I'm just going to wipe these, make sure I've got all the little bits of powder off. Then I'm going to give my mat a little wipe. All the little bits off. And then I'm going to crack some inks out and play. I think I'm going to do... Oh, let's do this easy one first with less twiddly bits. Less intricate bits. Right, I want to go for like an autumny colour. I've got shed loads of stuff. I've got fired brick, got my vintage photo, wild honey, tea dye. I'm going to start with lightest one first, tea dye, just to go into the swing. Like I said, I'm using these. These are from Aldi. Yeah, they were about 3 for £1. Sorry, 3 for £3, pound each. They have them in from time to time still. They're supposedly brushes for chalk painting. Right, so I'm going to start here. But I just like them for ink blending. I need more on than that. And you see it building up. I'm being a bit tentative because I haven't done this for ages. Not wanting to get too much ink on. I mean, you can blend with anything. Whatever you prefer to blend with. I think I'm getting a few streaks in this because they're all dust ink brushes. Because they have been on my windowsill for like a year. But do you know what? I like it. I do quite like that. Ink blending for dummies. Right, next I'm going to come in with some wild honey. This is a bit brighter. It's a nice orange. Oh, this is going to be... Ooh, oh, look at that. Now, it seems that it's colouring the stalk, doesn't it, where my flower is, but that will rub off. The ink is going to rub off where I've done the embossing, and this is why they call it emboss resist technique, because the embossing resists the colour. Right, I'm then going to come in with some of this fired brick. Quite autumnal colours, aren't they? Right, I'm going to start at the top this time and work down. I've gone quiet on tonight, it's got concentration. Don't go up and down, woman. You're supposed to be doing it in stripes. That's me. Forget what I'm doing halfway through doing it. Right, and if you want to build your colour up, you can, but I quite like that, don't you? That's pretty cool. Right, I'm just going to let the ink dry 2 seconds while I put my lids on. Then I'm going to grab a bit of kitchen towel. And I'm going to buff it up. I did have some out. No, lost it. Here we go. Right, so, kitchen towel. Can you see now? I mean, you can do this with any colour. This could have been any colour embossing powder other than white, yeah? I quite like that. Oh, yeah, I'm going to do other two. Right, let's do them the same colour because I liked it. Right, tea dye at the bottom. Yeah, like I say, you can use any ink blend, whatever your preferred ink blending tool is. I just happen to like these. I've got the brushes, I've got the Tim Holtz tools. I like the fact that I can use these, then wash them. And there's no messing. Ooh. Let's get the tea dye at the bottom of this one. I'm starting to get impatient now, aren't I? I'm putting more ink on. Can you see it's can you see when I do a circular motion? It sort of blends better. So I do a bit of a circular motion, but then where I'm changing colours, I've got to go across. Yeah, I quite like that circular motion. Whee. Whee. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'll just do it. Whee, whee. Crazy lady. They're coming to take me away, haha. Well, not these days. No room in asylums, is there, for me these days? But that's another matter. Whee, I quite like. And I've just got a cross there where I'm going to change colours. And you don't have to do it in stripes. You can just do it. You could put different colours anywhere you want. I just wanted to do it in stripes because I've done in stripes on that one I found and it looked good. So that's what I'm doing. So we'll get that flower in yellow. And then I'm going to go to the orange, which is the fired brick for my last one. Then I've not done one, I've done this. I'm going to squirt a bit of water on it. Oh, can you see my finger mark there? Silly woman. Hold it with the kitchen towel. Oh, I put far too much on that, didn't I? We can save it, don't panic, I'm not. It can be saved. So I'm very heavy-handed. I'm not the most delicate person when it comes to doing things like this, but I still quite like how it comes out. I'm just going to put a bit more yellow over my thumbprint. Silly woman. Yeah, very susceptible to fingerprints is this ink until it's dry. Right, get your red one back to stick in your red ink. This is like multitasking for me, this. 3 colours of ink, 3 brushes. It's like accident waiting to happen. Right. Don't know what that were. I'm just getting a bit tight with ink now. I want to get off as much as I can. I don't want to leave it all on my brush to end up going down the sink. But I might do some splattery techniques. Yeah. I don't know whether I'll do those on camera. I might try putting some water on these inky brushes and splatter and see what occurs. Right, we've now got 3 tags. Let's buff these up. I'm just going to rip a bit off corner to hold it with. Oh, look at that. I quite like that. Might get adventurous and try some different colours. I am doing some steampunky things, so I could try doing some cogs. Yeah, with a background. I could do the cogs in, I don't know, some kind of bronze, or I could put different colours of embossing powder on, couldn't I? Ooh, that's an idea. Right, I'm just going to wipe the desk before we go on to the next bit, because I'm going to spray water on the tags, and if my desk is covered in ink, it's all it's going to be an awful mess. I mean, look at that. Oh, that's quite autumnal there, isn't it? It's like rust. Rusty Leaves. I'm looking out my window at Rusty Leaves. Not Rusty Lee. She did cooking on telly in UK. Yeah, she's a chef. Rusty Leaves. You American ladies will not know what on earth I'm on about again. But what's new there then? Right, so that's that cleaned up. Now, I did have one of the Tim Holtz spray bottles. It broke. Sorry, Tim, it did. So now I've got a cheapy one. I could do with a different one because sometimes this just gets big blobs. And I'm just squirting water on. Oh, I've got bigger blobs than I was intending, but oh, it's going to look fab. Right, can you see now what's happening? Ooh. And what's going to happen now is, if I get yet another piece of kitchen roll, if I dab some of these ink spots, it will take some of the ink away and it'll leave like a bleached look. Look at that, I quite like it. Ooh, yeah. I like that look. Nice, nice, nice. So, I'm quite impressed with those. Lord knows what I'm going to put them in. So like I said, it was very much an impulse make this today. I wanted to decorate one of the little 10-minute folio books that I've been making the last few Saturdays. I'd promised to show you how to decorate one, and the particular book I want to use the pages from, I can't find it, and I know I've got it somewhere. Right. Do you know what? I'm going to try and put some water on this, and then I'm going to try and splash some ink on. This could get really messy. What do I need? I'm going to get some more of me. Yeah, I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm going to get my kitchen roll. I suppose, yeah, I need a box or something. I'm just going to squirt some water on here. I don't know if this is going to work. I ain't got a clue. Ooh, things are rolling about. Oh, it did. Oh, it worked. I didn't know whether it would work with Distress Oxide ink. Now, anything we do put on will wipe off the white. But yeah, that worked. Me likes. Splatter, splatter. And then this splattering is also going to have some kind of reaction with ink as well, because I'm splattering wet ink. I quite like that, and I want some yellow on. So I'm just squirting some water. Can you see on the end of my brush? Yellow doesn't show up as much, does it? Now this time I'm not going to be dabbing this with kitchen towel. I'm going to come in with my heat gun and dry it. So here we go. And when it's dry is when I'm going to wipe it off the white bits. Do you know, I think these would have looked ever so good in any colour. You could have done green. I could have tried to do green stems and coloured flowers. Yeah. I really quite like these. They make lovely cards, greeting cards, journal cards, even a journal front, tags, whatever. I really quite like them. I'm tempted to go to splatter again. I'm tempted to splatter some. I've still got my gold and bronzy paints. Ooh, am I going too far now? Is this taking it to extremes? I don't know. Let's see what happens. You need the sound effects. It comes out better. It certainly does. Quite like that. And I'm going to use the same 3 colours I used on them tags last week. I've got my, oh my god, the lid's not on properly. Oh my word. If you could see my craft room now, it's just, oh my god. Can you see, my lid weren't on properly last time I used it, and I've gone to shake it up and it's like, oh, it's gone everywhere. I've got glittery, sparkly, all sorts. Well, whatever. I used to be so scared of making a mess. I mean, even as recently as last week, I was so scared of making a mess. It seems I'm just, kids are off school, do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, 5 minutes peace away from them. Don't matter if I've wrecked my craft room, does it? I've got a gold one somewhere. Try and squirt it, see what happens. No, it'll be a mess. No, don't squirt it. Daub it. Daub and dab. Daub and dab. I mean, I may have gone way too far with stuff. I'm not getting any on that side of that one. That solved that, didn't it? I seem to have got more on my mat than I have on my tags. I've got it all over me. It's... it's all over my birthmark. Oh, well, whatever. Now, I'm tempted to give a couple of these a dab. I'm going to dab one at big ones, see what occurs. Oh, yeah, it'll just help dry it quicker. Ooh, me likes. Me really likes. It's just made those white flowers a little bit less boring, hasn't it? And this is water-based, so I think it is. Yeah. It should still wipe off when we've dried it. Right, get the heat gun back out. Is it gone? Is it splattered? No. I wish I'd put a piece of cardboard under when doing that again though, because I've got a very interesting piece of cardboard from when I did my last lot that I'm going to do a project with. Oh, I like these. So yeah, I'm going to want to splatter everything now, you know. Everything will get splattered within an inch in it, within an inch of its life. Whee. I think these need backing onto something as well, because this 160 GSM card is a little bit thin. I think they're all dry now. I would have probably let them dry naturally had I not been filming. Because I'm a bit worried that if they're not dry, this next bit's going to go awfully wrong. Awfully wrong. Right. I just want to clean up. Oh, it didn't want to come off. I don't mind, I like it. So apparently those splattering inks don't want to rub off the flowers, but I don't mind, I like it. Wow, I'm quite impressed with those. Right, I'm just going to pile them up a tick while I do something with this desk. I'll just get a quick wipe off and then we'll finish the tags off. That doesn't seem to be wanting to go anywhere too imminently, does it? My hands are looking a little bit worse for wear, but hey ho, we've had fun. Right. Oh, come back. What are they up to? Put them back in your tub for now, woman. You're not using them again. Right, I'm just gonna grab my bone folder. Oh, craft a lunch. I haven't had one of them for a while. Kids are off school. I always get crafter lunches when kids are off school because I don't take enough time to tidy things away. It's just like, finish what you're doing and go and sort kids out. Feed them. Stop them arguing. Walk them. Yeah, wash them. Brush them. It's like having a dog. Right. What do they need to be on? Do I need to mount them on anything? I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave. I just like them as they are. I don't think they want mounting. They're going to stay as they are. I'm going to make them tag shaped and pop some tint top. Yeah, I think I am. So, which tag shape would we like? I'm thinking this one. I'm using my cut-off credit card to do the tags. I found my big Tim Holtz scissors. On the desk of a 15-year-old child. She denies all knowledge of how they got there, of course. But then again, I could have walked in that room with him in my hand to referee a match, arguing match, or I could have been there for any reason. I could have been nosy in at neighbours. Oh, I don't actually. I'm not a very nosy person. People say, on my house, my living room is on the back of the house. We're like, I suppose where I'm from, they used to be built, houses were built with the living rooms, your main living area room, facing the road, the front of the house. Whereas the more modern ones now, where they've got French doors, the living room tends to be at back of house. And yeah, nosy friends have said, how do you manage? How can you manage having your living room at back and no one to nosy at? And I'm like, I'm not really bothered. I spend most of my life in my craft room anyway. Right, I'm looking for my blending tool. I want to just ink these edges up a bit. So yeah, don't suppose I were nosing at neighbours. Most nosing I do is to see if postman's on his way. See if bin collectors are coming. Yeah, they didn't need mounting. It'd have made them too, I don't know, old-fashioned. I don't know, I don't think I mean old-fashioned. I don't know, it would have looked like it was supposed to be a greetings card. I just want to pop these on. I'm pretty happy with these. I think they need a pop of colour in the tag tops though. I don't know what colour. Maybe a bit of green. Because we're all brown and orange, aren't we? And yellow. I'm thinking if I put some green in the top, it'll just give them that little bit of pop they need. Right, I think I'm going to use reinforcement rings and... yeah, I am. I'm not going to put metal eyelets in. The card is far too thin. The eyelets will not work properly. So I've run out of sheets. I've got that box of them now. I'm going to ink it up in... how do they come out? Oh, how do they work? Yeah, it looks like I couldn't work it out, so I just took them out at top. Grab a bit of scrap card. You'll do. You're just paper, aren't you? Yeah, you'll do. I'm just inking these up with my walnut stain. Ooh. Oh, I've pulled one off. Do another one, woman. You've mucked one up. That's better. I'm then going to grab my hole punch that does them in that size. Whatever that size is. If it tells it on here, is it 1/4 of an inch? It could be 1/4 of an inch. I don't think it tells you. I'm pretty certain it's 1/4 of an inch. And because this is thin card, I'm going to put all three together and punch that hole. Then I'm going to put these reinforcement rings around. It's like your Tim Holtz tags are finished off, isn't it? Oh, what's happened here? Well, do you know, I don't think these are quite as sticky as the brand I had before. They seem to be staying down though. So that's the... oh, sorry about that squeak. I'm using my new mat. My new mat from Joe. Thank you, Joe, again, every time I use it. Right, I want some green eyelash trim or some green... ooh, some green seam binding dyed. I like that colour. I did loads last year. I did a Christmassy journal and I dyed loads of seam binding looking for the right colour green. Now any colour green is going to look good on these, isn't it? Oh, how about that sari silk? Oh, I think I like that dark sari silk the best. I do. Yeah. Let's pop it through and see. Do I? No, it don't give that pop of colour that we want. I need a pop of colour on these. So it's going to have to be this. Yeah, I think that's better. Am I going to tie them in my usual fashion with a bow? Or am I going to do something different? Do you know what? I think I might. Let's guess how much we need. I might just tie a bow on the top. I can always change my mind later. So put it like so. Tie bow. They're an exercise thing. Back in 80s that. Oh no, tell me it weren't 80s. I'm showing my age there. Tie bow. Oh yeah. That one's a bit too long, isn't it? There we go. So that's one. I like that. Just that pop of green. Makes it look like it is actually a botanical flower. So, I can't remember how much I just used then. I'll end up wasting some. Yes, someone asked me on my last video about where I get my seam binding from. I buy mine in big 100-yard rolls. Big 100-yard rolls from Zipperstop ribbons on Etsy. I will remember to put the link in this time. You can get it on Amazon. I just find they seem to be the cheapest place for it if you want to buy a full 100 yards. But I've got loads of distress inks because, yeah, before I go into junk journaling, card making was my thing. And I did lots of inking and embossing. So I had lots of distress inks. So I've got the inks to dye my own seam bindings. They do also sell them in single colours. I think you can buy as little as 10 yards. I think that you get 10 yards for about £3. Can't tell you what that is in dollars, US ladies. Is it about $4? Probably. But I think it's seam binding is something that's more widely available in US, isn't it? Yeah, that's what other lady asked me as well. She says, that doesn't look like seam binding we use. Right, in the UK, what we normally call seam binding, it's horrible. It's just horrible. And this is more like, I don't know. It's the ribbon, it's rayon, the material it's made from. It's like, it's a synthetic material, isn't it, rayon? It's a bit like, I don't know. It's just nice. It's just nice. It's lovely. Right, that's them. So, we're done. Faffing finished. Oh, I quite like them. Bit different to what I've been doing of late, but yeah, I can see this technique in my steampunk journal with some cogs and gears and pipes and butterflies made of cogs. Oh, I could just stick a butterfly on there. I could put a sentiment on, but I don't know how and when I'm going to use them, so I'm not going to put a sentiment on for the sake. Yeah, probably just get stuffed in a botanical journal. So I hope you enjoyed my messing. It didn't go too bad, so I haven't got a clue what we're up to when I started, did it? And so, thank you for choosing to spend your time with me, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye.